And with the Fighting Irish getting that 13th straight victory, let's look at who Dublin will be taking on next week. Looks like Toombs County swept the floor with Elbert County. The Dogs took care of business against the Blue Devils, 56-17. Holmes told me earlier they could very well see Toombs in a huge semifinals matchup with a trip to the Bends on the line, and they sure will. Now let's look at the other side of the Single A Division I bracket. 10-2 Northeast pulls out a huge victory back and forth in a shootout in Blue Ridge over Fannin County, 48-39. Fannin County, their only loss on the year, the Raiders handed it to them, making it to the semifinal round for the first time in program history. They've won 6 straight games. After being down 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, Northeast rattled off 20-something points, 30-something points in the fourth there, while allowing just I believe, 8 or 12 in the fourth quarter to hand the Rebels their only loss of the season, while Worth County got the road win over Fitzgerald got the home win over Worth County, 42-38, coming back. I believe Worth County was up by 10 points in the fourth, and Fitzgerald got the win. They'll be taking on Northeast. Northeast is going to be hosting a semifinal matchup at Thompson Field next week against Fitzgerald. That's going to be a great matchup. And of course, if Northeast gets the win, we have a possible Week 9 Game of the Week rematch at stake. So a lot on the line there in Single A Division I. Now let's look at who Calhoun will take on next week. Stevenson gets the win at home over Southeast Bullock in dominating fashion, 36-3. The Yellow Jackets and Jaguars face next Friday for a shot at the Bends in 2 weeks. And on the other side of the 3A bracket, Jefferson gets the home win over Cherokee Bluff, 42-28, to move on to the Final Four. And the LaGrange Grangers get the blowout win on the road over North Hall, 49-17, your final. The Grangers and the Dragons meet next week. That's an interesting game. Now let's move on to some GHSA quarterfinal 6A action. Grayson gets the win over Collins Hill tonight, 38-14. The Rams will now take on Douglas County in the semifinals after their 20-14 win over West Forsyth. And on the other side of the 6A bracket, we have Carrollton taking care of Hillgrove, 46-6 at home tonight to move on to the semifinals, where the Buford Wolves await them after their dominating win over undefeated North Gwinnett, 43-7. Wolves sending a statement with that win tonight. Buford and Carrollton will be very interesting. Now we head to some GHSA 5A play, where the second best team in the country showed up tonight against Hoco, as the Houston County Bears fall on the road to end their season, 56-14, your final. What a season from the Bears there. A lot to be proud of for Coach Edwards. Milton will play Lee County next week. That's a region opponent of Houston County. After their 64-point blowout win, in Coffee, another region opponent of Hoco, looking better and better every week. It's the crazy 72-point win over a great team in Sequoia, 72-48. No shortage of scoring in that game. Trojans will play Hughes next week after they got the 28-12 win over TCC. And in 4A play, Creekside gets the shutout win over Eastside, 26-0. Seminoles move on to the semifinals, where they will take on Marist next week after their 40-14 victory over Cambridge. On the other side of the 4A, Blessed Trinity takes care of Benedictine, 24-10 to take on North Oconee next week after their close 2-point win over Cartersville at home tonight. And we move on to some GHSA 2A play, where Rockmart gets the close home win over Morgan County to advance to the semis. Yellow Jackets will take on Burke County next week after their close 49-42 win over Thompson. On the other side of the 2A, Appling County, they get the home win over Stevens County. The Pirates will face Carver next week after the Tigers' 44-7 win over Pierce County. And in Class Single A Division II, Irwin County picks up a road win over Tryon, 40-30. Indians will take on Bowden next week in the semis after their 31-13 win over Clinch County. And finally, on the other side of the bracket, Brooks County takes care of Jenkins County, 28-7. Take on Manchester after their close road win over Lincoln County, 20-17. That's playoff football, baby. Well, we got just 2 games to go in the season, and we'll catch you next week for semifinal action. We got 3 teams remaining, and that's our show for the last Friday in November. Thank you for being with us. I'm Justin Dirks, and for all of us at 41 NBC, good night.